No need to talk about the game. The Cowboy roster and the franchise right now is essentially bankrupt. So Jerry Jones in his life, he was a wildcatter. I'll get to that in a minute. But when he's taken big swings, football and non-football, it's paid off. Remember, he bought an NFL team. I mean, wedged in to buy it. Jimmy Johnson always told me the first year and a half, he was paying bills. He took a big swing to buy that team, and he barely qualified. He fires Tom Landry. He hires Jimmy Johnson. He brings in Deion Sanders. Big swings. And Jerry's always been rewarded with those. It's when Jerry plays it safe, it doesn't work out. Re-signing Dak. Because, as Dak's here, we'll be competent. We'll be good in the regular season. Or replacing Jason Garrett with Mike McCarthy, somebody who needed a job and Jerry could control. Or letting go of Amari Cooper to give us more cap flexibility, or let's pass on Derrick Henry because, at $8 million, it's a little too much. Every time Jerry plays it safe and comfortable, that's all you get. He's preached that. Re-signing Dak. You really think Dak, forget the NFC, you think Dak's going to beat Josh Allen, Burrow, Herbert now with Harbaugh, Mahomes in a Super Bowl and hoist a trophy? Bruh, come on. Can we have a grown-up talk? Jerry also has to consider that Jaden Daniels is now in his division twice a year, 20 times minimum over the next decade. And Jalen Hurts, with that roster in Philadelphia, significantly better. The Lions are just moving into a 3 to 4 year dominant window. And oh yeah, the Packers and Jordan Love are stacked with young talent not being paid for several years. Again, that's just the NFC. Forget that in my lifetime, I've never seen a conference like the AFC where the 5 best quarterbacks are all in their prime. Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar Jackson. So if Dallas, after they lose their next game, they're a 3-8 team. After they lose their next game at Washington, they face the Giants on Thanksgiving. If they lose that game, and I suspect they will, I like the Giants more, even with Tommy DeVito, I don't think Dallas wins another game. Carolina is trying to build a culture, build a staff, build momentum for next year, and find out if Bryce Young is the guy. They're playing for stuff. Dallas is playing for nothing. So let's go back. Start looking at the draft order right now if Dallas doesn't beat the Giants. So Jacksonville and Tennessee are above them, but they play each other twice. Cleveland's too talented to not win a couple more games. Jets will win another game. Carolina wants to. I'm watching the Patriots. They're giving the Rams a struggle. They're going to win more games. They're playing for something. Rookie coach, rookie quarterback. The Giants and Vegas, if the Cowboys beat the Giants, this may not matter. But if the Giants win, the Cowboys, in my opinion, it'll be the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Raiders all vying for that number 1 pick. And I'm here to tell you, if I was the Dallas Cowboys, I don't care about Dak's new contract. I would go get Deion Sanders, and I would pick Shedeur Sanders. If I had to give up Micah Parsons and 3 firsts, I would do it. You do not get out of bankruptcy putting $13 a month into your 401k. You get out of it with big swings. That's how you get out of it. You start looking at the draft order. You look at Dallas' schedule. The only team they play the rest of the year that's got nothing to play for is the Giants. If the Giants can beat them, and Dallas is awful at home, not much better on the road, they got a shot to get the number 1 pick. They got a real shot. Yes, Dak will be upset if you draft Shedeur Sanders. So what? Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson was upset. They moved off him. They're in cap hell. So what? The Denver Broncos are viable. Why? They went and got a great coach, and they went and got a great rookie quarterback. And all of a sudden, Denver's in the playoffs in the better conference. They may not stay there, but they went from cap hell, thin roster, missing draft picks, embarrassing franchise to, is Sean Payton coach of the year? And Bo Nix, is he the best rookie quarterback? They took big swings. Sean Payton was a big, expensive swing, $15 million, $18 million a year. Bo Nix, a quarterback. Play him day one, big swing. Move off Russell Wilson and pay the contract. Pittsburgh gets him for a nickel. Pittsburgh wins, but so does Denver. You're not getting out of this mess. This roster's bankrupt. Move off Micah. Give up 3 picks. If you don't beat the Giants and you got nothing to play for, I'd argue Brian Daboll has something to play for. His job. The weird Giants could run him out of town. But if you go to the end of the Troy Aikman era, after Troy Aikman left and before Tony Romo arrived, what did? They went and got Bill Parcells. That's the first thing. Let's go get Bill Parcells. And then they found Tony Romo. But the difference is Tony Romo was undrafted, so he was free for 5 years. Whoever gets this roster, you are handcuffed with Dak's contract. You know, Dak is a $90 million cap hit next year. Now, they'll restructure it. But if you go get Shedeur Sanders, who is a much better prospect than Dak, and Dak, by the way, after his first surgery, lost mobility. What's he going to be after this? Lisa Salter said last night, 8 months. Not back for 8 months. What? $90 million? He's not back in 8 months. The last surgery, he became immobile. He became Kirk Cousins. But he didn't throw as well as Kirk Cousins. What's he after the second surgery? So what if he's upset? Russell Wilson was upset. Russell's happy now. You move Dak, even if you have to pay 80% of his salary. If you hit on a quarterback, if Shedeur Sanders is great, nobody cares. Tom Landry, I can't believe you fired Tom Landry 2 years later. Nobody cared. Jimmy Johnson. Deion Sanders, how can you bring in Deion Sanders? Oh, he's great, Super Bowl. Nobody cares. I can't believe Jerry bought an NFL team. He's a wildcatter. He can barely afford it. Jimmy Johnson wins. Nobody cares. Everybody now joins the avalanche. Everybody would crap on you with moving off Dak Prescott. Who cares? God, Joe Rogan goes through a controversy a week. Who cares? Win games. Take swings. Jerry was a wildcatter. And I'm sure most of you know what a wildcatter is. It's a speculation business. You're drilling holes in the earth and you don't know what's down there. But here's the thing. Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders are not speculation. You know what Deion is as a college coach and as a player and as a leader and as a culture builder. And I'm telling you, Shedeur Sanders is a great prospect. He's the only quarterback in this class I like, but he's a great prospect. But if you want to sit around and be average, then make average moves. Don't offend anybody. Make Dak happy. But Russell Wilson was pissed when they got rid of him. He's happy now. Send Dak somewhere. Pay most of his salary. Guy's going to get paid. I mean, you saw Dak about 3 weeks ago on the sidelines. Remember what the cameras caught him saying? This team blanking sucks. Those were Dak's words. The camera caught it. Does he really want to be there? If tomorrow you found out Dak went somewhere to an organization that lost a quarterback to injury and had a stacked roster, you think he'd be brokenhearted? He's a pro athlete. I wouldn't blame him. Pro athletes should take care of pro athletes, not worry about the billionaire owner. But, I mean, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts in division. I mean, the 5 great quarterbacks in the AFC all in their prime. All of them. You think you're winning with this roster? Take a huge swing. If you lose to the Giants on Thanksgiving because you're losing to Washington, you're a 10-point dog next week, you have a real shot to end up in that top 2 or 3. I'd give up Micah. I'd move 3 first-round picks if I had to. Of course, the Giants aren't going to give you that. They don't care, nor would the Raiders. But the Raiders play hard. The Raiders play hard. They play hard. They're going to win another football game in the next 6-7 weeks or whatever it is. Jerry's history is big swings. I don't even think Shedeur Sanders is a big swing. I think trading Micah 3 first-round picks is like, ooh. But this is not a Trey Lance situation in San Francisco. Shedeur can play. Shedeur's dad was the greatest corner ever. Shedeur can play. We got like a lot of games now. Again, other teams that have given up 3 first-round picks, you got a guy from a small college that we haven't seen much video. And Shedeur's been crushing it everywhere he's been. He has a chance to win the Big 12. And I got to tell you something. I got no problem with Deion Sanders as an NFL coach. Did you think he was going to stay in Colorado forever? It's a great story. It's not a great team. Colorado, when he took it over, was the worst program in the country. They don't have big NIL money. They don't have big boosters. And I think he's done a great job. And I think he loves what he does. And I think he's elevated the lives of young people. But when his son leaves, you really see Deion as the future of Colorado football? I can see him as the future of the Dallas Cowboys. That smells about right.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.